This is just to show you what tunings are available in keyboards. This one is a Roland FP7. If I press the function button, I get straight to a menu which shows the master tune, the temperament key, and the type of temperament that I'm using. So here's equal, key of C. Here's, if I change it to just major, if I wanted to play something in a different key, I'd have to move this up and change it to just major. Now, if I want to play a piece of music, supposing it's in D, and I wanted to play it in equal first of all, supposing I bring it up to just major, so I got away with that in terms of it probably sounds better in major there. It's the piece of music suits it and the chords that are being played. Supposing I mess around with that and just modulate out of the chords that suit the D there. So you can see some of them have gone sour, so it's not able to cope with modulations outside. I think basically you'll find it works for the fifths, the fourths, and very little else. And some of the sour stuff is unusable, obviously. So that's not really a musical thing. Unless you just wanted to tune instruments, you can obviously go and have your musicians tuned to your notes there, and they will get just major intonation. But that could be done with a tuning, electronic tuning instrument. So that's the Roland. I do have a Yamaha. It has something similar. It has a couple of extra tuning facilities. Mine is the Mod X version of Yamaha's current workstations. It does allow you to do a little bit more than this in terms of user settings and all that, so it might be a little bit more useful. But you can't really get over the problem whereby you're modulating around anything other than the simpler pieces, and you'll get some sour chords instead, and of course you'll get your fantastically tuned into intervals as well. I've seen some examples on the net where so people have inserted circuit boards into certain, say, electronic organ, and the circuit board is intelligent enough to pick out what the accompaniment is because you're playing it on your left hand, for instance, and then it will adjust the intervals accordingly. There's no commercial keyboard available as far as I'm aware on that. It's more experimental stuff. There is another solution I'm going to show you now, which is to do with computers. And on my left here, I've got a MacBook run Logic. So Logic is a digital audio workstation, which is used by a lot of people. So it's widely available. Yeah, so here's the tuning page of Logic there. And you can see that it obviously supplies us with equal temperament. So here's a equal temperament. But if you're trying to get something better than that, you could go for fixed again, which is what the keyboard did for us, and it only allowed us about 5 different flavors. There was just major, just minor, Kirnberger, mean tone, Pythagorean, Workmeister, and that's it. This one here will show you what it has. It has all of these. So rather than read them out, it probably has everything you're looking for. It's unlikely there's nothing here from particularly Baroque music that isn't addressed. Here's the second page of it. I'll scroll it up there and you can see them. And then you have, I see one here, J.S. Bach, Well Tempered, and I know there's one at the bottom, Velotti and Young, and Mean Tone is there, and all the rest of them, the Workmeister ones are there as well. So it has the same inherent problem as the keyboard has. It doesn't know what you're going to play next. Hence, somebody created Hermode tuning. So there's an algorithm in Logic which works out, based on your left hand, will say, or your right hand if you're playing chords in the right hand, what the actual chord is, and therefore it adjusts all the intervals to be perfect or as close to perfect as possible. There's three flavors actually of Hermode tuning. You have classic, pop, jazz, and Baroque. I'm going to just concentrate on the Baroque, but there's not that much difference between the classic and the Baroque as far as I can see. Here's what the keyboard sounds like. Now what has been happening there is every interval has been attempted to be perfect. Started on a discord and we've landed with discord. Now if you look at the comma, so this was adaptive. It says it here is adaptive, so it actually works it out so that you don't have that problem of what's called a comma. One of the disadvantages is you're going to have to be using software instruments that are supplied within the Logic stable. So to sum up, the keyboards are good obviously for just demonstrating the tuning to live musicians, string players or singers. They're not really suitable for anything that's modulating around too much. The sourness of the chords that are left behind by the changes made for the ones that are sweetened is just too much of a penalty in my opinion. Depending on the piece of music, you could try it out. So that's just an overview there of what ordinary commercial keyboards current crop can do, and what the likes of anything with Hermode tuning, I think it's Cubase and Logic have got it. And does mean hooking up a computer, and it might mean using the stock sounds that are on the computer as opposed to on a keyboard, but that's something that might be able to get by as well, you know.